Hey guys, welcome to day 31 of my carnivore journey and my diary. Welcome. Guys, so we're going to get right into things. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible for you guys. But today, on day 31, I ended up having a pound of ground meat. You can see right here. This is, now if you look, there's that light brown sauce on top. What that is my own little carnivore sauce because my family wanted Salisbury steak and they wanted that it's like a beef gravy. It's an onion mushroom beef gravy that goes over top with mashed potatoes and broccoli. That's what they wanted because I make that, and I make a really good Salisbury steak mashed potatoes. Well, I can't have the gravy because it's got the onions and the mushrooms and the cooking wine and things like that. So I made all that for them. But the Salisbury steaks. Now, here's what I did here's the quick little recipe of what I make. I took 3 pounds of meat. This is for 3 people, so I figured we'd all maybe eat a pound. Of course, my wife didn't eat, but I had a pound of it. So I took 3 pounds of meat, divided up into 6. Weighed it out. Well, okay, I take that back. I put it all together in a bowl. Then I do the mix, and then I divide it out. But anyways, I digress. I did 2 eggs and about a cup of ground pork rinds. So they act as breadcrumbs, right? So you have, you just throw some pork rinds in a food processor, or you can buy them already ground up. But I did mine in the food processor because I couldn't find any in the store. So I made my own breadcrumbs out of pork rinds. But about a cup I put in there. Salt, of course, Himalayan salt. Now I did do a dash of garlic, or I would say probably like a tablespoon because it's like 3 pounds of meat. And I did a splash of heavy cream and also a splash of hot sauce, Frank's Red Hot. I mixed all that up by hand, divided up into 6 things, and then I took, and I have this Tupperware container that's kind of like, well, you guys saw it. You guys saw it in one of my other videos where I showed you guys some of my bacon containers. So I would say it's about like this big or so, and I just took that, the 6 like meatballs, and I put it in there, flatten it out. And use that as like a mold, like a hamburger press kind of thing. So I use that as a mold, and then I put them all on parchment paper, and then I seared each side for 2 minutes. Put them all on a tray, put them in the oven for 425 while I made the gravy. Of course, the mashed potatoes and everything. I was multitasking. But the gravy, of course, I make that. That's not something that, again, that's not carnivore friendly. Now, like I said, mine, you can omit the garlic and you can omit the hot sauce. I'd still probably keep the splash of heavy cream in there, along with the, obviously the pork rinds and all that. But it's a pretty carnivore friendly meatloaf, basically, or Salisbury steak. So I made them into the patties, and I put a little more salt on one side. Again, seared them, put them in the oven. Anyways, so the sauce that I made for myself. So I kind of messed up. I was gonna do this one sauce where I was gonna use unflavored gelatin because I was trying to think of stuff that was carnivore friendly, but it wasn't gonna be aggressive. So I was gonna do like just beef broth, just plain beef broth with unflavored gelatin to kind of thicken it up a little bit and maybe a little butter. Didn't turn out. So at the last minute, I took a couple tablespoons of butter and some heavy whipping cream, cooked it up. I mean, it was probably only about maybe a half a cup, or anywhere from a half a cup to 1 cup of whipping cream. Kind of stirred it up, got it pretty hot, starting boiling. It was starting to slowly thicken up a little bit. And I put just some beef bouillon, just straight like organic beef bouillon. That's like a paste into the into there. And so it was really just like a beef flavored heavy cream butter sauce. It was really good. It was actually came out pretty good. So I drizzled it I didn't want it too much. I drizzled it over top like you saw in the picture, and then I put the rest on the side as like a dipping sauce. And that's all I had. That's all I had. I didn't have anything else. I got black coffee because obviously I already had enough little bits of whipping cream for dinner. So I've got my black coffee right here. Just made it, so it's still pretty hot. I wanted to cover real quick, but that's what I did. Oh, and as far as how I felt today. So I felt pretty good. I felt better than yesterday, and I only had a little bit of aching in my arm, in a little bit in my shin and arm area. And that's usually where I feel it when I would eat like garbage. And so one of the comments that I had was one of the person wondered if that was more of a placebo effect, right? And I would like to just address that because I think it's important for everybody. I mean, it really brings up a good point. So I'm not singling out the comment as in like, how dare he suggest it's a placebo reaction. But I will say that I did ask the individual if they are on a carnivore diet or if they've ever been or something, because it's important that if you've never done a carnivore diet and you're wondering how you can tell these things, let me just clarify this. So when you do a carnivore diet, okay, after a couple weeks for sure, you start getting in touch with your body very clearly. Okay? So imagine if, and there's a couple weird analogies, but it's almost like as if you used the same gas in your car, same gas station, same pump, whatever, the same gas every day, and your car's running great, and then you change gas, and then your car's running rough. It's like blah, 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 blah. And then you go back, you go back to your gas, the normal gas, and then after a couple of days, it kind of smooths back out, and then it's running fine again. So what does that tell you? You're consistently doing the same thing. You change it a little bit, you got some problems, you go back, everything smooths back out. And that's kind of how I know that what I ate on Sunday is affecting me, and it's getting a little better as I'm back to my normal eating habits and meat and stuff, right? So that's one of the ways I wanted to kind of put that out there. Another way too is what you have to think about the carnivore diet is when you're trying to troubleshoot your health and you're eating all this junk. And when I say junk, I'm just talking about like grains, like breads, sugars, all the normal stuff, pizza, wings, whatever, all the normal stuff, mashed taters, whatever, starches. So you start taking that collective amount of total ingredients, all the chemicals, the preservatives, ingredients, everything. And, you're talking hundreds of things that you're putting in your body every day, different types of things, or throughout the week. And so what you're essentially doing is you're cutting out all of that garbage, and you're going to eat only a select certain amount of things with a select certain amount of like chemicals or ingredients or minerals, right? So you are, again, that's why it's also called an elimination diet, right? So once you eliminate all that other stuff, it's the same thing as if somebody says, hey, I need you, like, can you imagine if you're not a mechanic? If you're a mechanic, then you're not going to be able to use this. But imagine you're not a mechanic and somebody just hands you and they dump like 1,000 parts on the ground. They say, okay, try to find which one's broken. And you're like, huh, what? But now if somebody laid down like 8 parts in front of you and say, hey, which one is broken? Well, you have a much higher odds of knowing that, and you can probably take your time and inspect each part and, say, hey, this one here looks like it's cracked. But if you have 1,000 of them, I mean, it's so hard to get through all that. And anyways, I'm just trying to come up for you guys to kind of, for some of you to grasp that idea. So as far as a placebo effect, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that, but at the same time, you really start to feel consistently good every day. And you feel a certain, and that's why I've constantly said in my daily vlogs that I feel even or solid. And you don't have much disruption. But when you eat something that's a little different, or you eat some things that are different than your diet, like the carnivore, and like you said, the like when I had those peanut butter cups with the false sugar and all that stuff, well, guess what? The next day I sat up and I was trying to be normal, but I just start documenting how I feel. I just start saying, okay, I'm noticing this, okay, and I go back to my life. But then, like when things are shooting out at me, saying, hey, you're getting these aches going on here, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to ignore them, I'm trying to move on, but you're in tune with your body. So just keep that in mind. Just wanted to point that out. But other than that, potty wise, or using the restroom, poops, if you will, they were normal this morning. That's right. In fact, I went first thing this morning. Now, one thing I noticed too, and I want to point this out. I got a vlog. I got to put it in my diary. I've noticed a lot that I tend to be pretty hungry in the mornings. I wake up and it seems like, I don't know if it's just because like my body was working on shit overnight, but I wake up and I'm pretty hungry. But here's the thing: I don't act on it. I just get ready for work and everything, and then when I go to work, I start sipping on my ice water, but it goes away, and then I'm solid. Like, I don't really feel like I need to eat anything for the rest of the day. So there's just that little hump in the road every morning for me. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe you guys get it. Maybe some of you don't. But first thing in the morning. But it don't last real long. So I just wanted to just put that on record. But yeah, right. Obviously for dinner, I feel solid. After my dinner, I don't feel bloated. Like I said, there was just a few little twinges of achiness in my arm and shin area today, but overall still felt pretty good, like I'm recovering from Christmas. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. I love hearing your comments, your stories, your milestones, and we have New Year's coming up, so I hope this is going to allow some people to either get on board. Hopefully you're not even going to wait. Hopefully you just get going. Like I said, for me, I didn't even wait till the first of the month or anything. It was like the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So there's no time like now, right? So get on the diet. And again, if it's more than a diet for you, like for me, it's more than a diet. Okay? I'm treating it as an addiction. Okay? So I'm completely doing abstinence from any type of sugar, and I'm trying to lower the carbs as much as possible. Like, I'm not trying to let too many sneak in there at all, but other than that, I'm just trying to do it abstinence. Like I said, when I cook for my family, I call my son in, I have him taste test, or I have my wife taste test. I say, hey, how's the salt level, whatever. And I'm usually pretty good about getting it in the ballpark anyways. But I get them to kind of finalize it, and they'll say, hey, it needs a little more salt, whatever. But I get them to taste test stuff. Or I just guess. If I can't get them to taste test and they're busy, I'll just do what I think, and they have to eat it. And I hand them a salt shaker. Like, here you go. All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow. I hope this helps you. And if you guys have anything you want me to talk about, let me know. But other than that, we'll see how everything goes, guys. But thank you all so much for the support and the love. It really means a lot, though.